Yeah. Okay, awesome. Let's start. So very nice to see you all here. I am a new faculty here joining this year in the computer science department of NYU Shanghai. And I would teach you about the class named Topics in Computer Science, Human AI Alignment. And sometimes you can also see the name of Bidirectional Human AI Alignment, which is very similar, like the concepts, but I want to name it as Human AI Alignment to be broader. So that is some background of this class. And you can also access the websites, the course website, where I sent you an email this morning. So very happy to see you today. And let's start. Before we start our class, I would love to share a little bit more about myself. And in the end of this class, we would also love to hear about you, where we have a session about Know You. So I can start with the self-introduction. My name is Hua Shen, and I just graduated from the University of Washington as a postdoc scholar. And before joining UW, I also spent 1 year in University of Michigan and also obtained my PhD at the Penn State University. And I'm joining this year as assistant professor of computer science. And my office is in here, like South 749. And you can also, maybe in the later, some of our classes would be hosted in the Zoom link because I need to attend some conferences. And my office hour is 11 to 12 on Tuesday and Wednesday. And you can also see the course website for some of the details. And I also have one Google Doc with more details about like the rubric and also the scoring and the, like all the rest of the things, so that you can also check it here with these syllabus details. And you can contact me anytime via this email, so that I'm very happy to respond, and maybe a little bit late, but I would respond as soon as possible as I can. So here is a brief introduction. And most important, my research is lying in the intersection between AI, like machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, speech processing. Those are just different modality of AI. And the HCI part. HCI named human-computer intersection and interaction, and also related to some about the social computing, etc. So basically, I would love to explore the research in the interdisciplinary area between the AI side and the human side, which is human AI alignment. And why this human AI alignment might be a new concept or an emerging direction or topics in our research community. Like one of the latest efforts we have done was in 2024, last year, where we had a survey about forming the bidirectional human AI alignment, followed by a series of the events where I would also show some of the details there. So these are the broad background of my research and the course research. And would you have any questions for now? And then we can continue. Sounds great. And here's the outline of our class for today's class. And we will divide it into 4 sections. The first one, I would love to share with you what is human AI alignment. And the second one is about why do we need a human AI alignment? And what if we do not achieve it? What's the risks and the harms here? And the third one is about course overview and logistics, which you might be very interested in. For example, some of the syllabus, like the rubric of our class and some of the activities in our class and how we would grade the class here. And the fourth one is about the discussion where I just mentioned. I would also love to know more about you, what you want from this class, where since I am also developing this class, I would love to incorporate your valuable insights or your feedback into developing our following, tutorials in the class. And by joining this class, I have some goals in my mind, but also love to incorporate yours. First one, you would decide whether for today's class, first one, you would decide whether this course fits you well and whether it will be beneficial for your own career development or your long-term, like for example, research projects, etc. And the second one is to learn an overview and the motivation of human AI alignment in general. And the third one is to share what you want from this course. So these are like an overview of some of the outline of this class. And let's start from the first one. What is human AI alignment? And first of all, I would love to share your thoughts about human AI alignment. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to bias your thoughts. So would any of you love to share what's your first impression of seeing this term? And you can also share your name for answering this for answering this question first.
My name is Jinduo, and from my understanding, human AI alignment may be something like to use the kind of techniques for post-training in order to align the AI's output with the humans, for example, morality or something.
Or values, yeah.
Yeah, values.
Cool, very great. Sounds like you already have very good backgrounds of AI, so that it's very professional answer.
My name is Yichang Jason, and my understanding for human AI alignment is just similar to the post-training thing, maybe using some preference or some thumbs up, thumbs down to make AI answer questions better.
Yes, I guess you might already read some of the very relevant papers, so very professional. And more.
My name is Sissy. I do understand like post-training can be like a major application to do like alignment, but I think like when you design the reward function, it can also like reflect kind of like human values. For example, how do you like design the machine, or like how do you manufacture, or like compose what the reward is composed of, could be like a very major policy.
Yes, more in depth about the algorithm, so really good. And yes, awesome. More, I saw maybe there. Okay, awesome. Since we're also like limited time, all your answers are pretty great and very professional, and also representing the very traditional concepts and the definition about AI alignment. So in the past years, the AI alignment is primarily explored or investigated in the AI community or machine learning community, where, as we just like mentioned, we focus a lot on improving the AI models, like logical models, primarily logical models, as we mentioned here, to incorporate the importance of human values and human preference. And one impressive or like very important outcome of this AI alignment is ChatGPT. So that back in 2022. So this is traditional human AI alignment. But what we want to cover here is extension definition about the traditional human AI alignment. Those definitions, like our amazing peers just shared, is primarily named AI alignment. It's not human AI alignment, where we are proposing a new concept about human AI alignment by aiming to incorporating also humans' importance here. As we just mentioned, AI alignment focus more about AI, and a human AI alignment also want to equally emphasize the human's role here, where I would love to share with you about more details here. So giving you a more background about why we need a human AI alignment, we have known that AI systems are deeply integrated in our lives, such as autonomous cars, writing assistants, image generation, etc. Where many of you might already conducted some research about these like AI or human AI related research projects. But AI ethics are not fully aligned with human values. For example, we saw crashes with autonomous cars. We also saw the writing assistant are generating a lot of misinformation. And we also see the stereotypical biases in the image generation AI models here. And there are a lot of challenges in the current state of art research, where we know that here is a typical AI type life cycle, starting from AI development to the AI deployment, where any of you are not familiar, or it's kind of brand new for you for this AI life cycle. Do we have some students here? Great. We all have a high AI literacy, so I'm very glad that you already know a lot about AI. So the typical AI life cycle, where the first stages are about AI development, we focus a lot on collecting the data and training the AI. Also, like these are primarily finished or conducted by the AI-oriented researchers. On the other hand, we can also see that, there's another stage about AI deployment, including evaluating AI and deploying AI. So a lot of human-centered researchers like HCI researchers, social computing researchers are focusing on these stages where we are deploying AI to human and empower us to using AI, collaborating AI, and see how AI could be better used and leveraged in the practical real world. And then here we involve several communities here, like we just said, the AI community. And AI community is leading a super important role in addressing the problems in AI. And on the other hand, the human-centered community, such as HCI, social computing, are very experienced in finding AI problems for human, so that they are super experienced and experts in a little bit nuanced, like expertise here. However, we find that there's actually some of the gaps between finding the problem and addressing the problem. So that it's very common nowadays that maybe HCI researchers have found that AI is not useful for humans in some specific situations, but some of them don't know how to address them. Where AI researchers know very clearly about how to improve AI, how to train AI, but their goals of improving AI might not be aligned or needed from the humans. So we see a big gaps in these here. And that's why we notice that the human-centered and AI-centered research and skills are largely divided in the practice. That's why we want to propose human AI alignment here. It is also under the bigger umbrella about human-centered AI in this area. So what is human AI alignment? In this paper, which is conducted as a systematic survey combining over 400 papers related to alignment, which we finished last year in 2024, where we gave the formal definition about bidirectional human AI alignment. So here you can see a better overview about what we mean the bidirectional human AI alignment, where you're familiar with just about this line from AI's development to the deployment, similar about the AI life cycle. And then after the AI has been deployed, the human side and the society side were the first to perceive and critique. For example, explaining, understanding, and like knowing or audit the AI's like outcome first, and then it will be like beneficial for them to better collaborate and co-adapt with AI. So that actually we are proposing that this should be a complete loop, so that the two communities shouldn't be divided in developing these human AIs, like let's say the ecosystem. That's why we are proposing that the bidirectional human AI alignment should be divided into two processes. The first one is aligning AI with human, which is exactly as our peers, like our students just shared. We need to integrate humans' specifications such as on the values, preference, morals, ethics, and beyond to train, steer, and customize AI. On the other hand, after AI has been developed and deployed, we should also align humans to AI's capability, where we should empower humans to better critique and collaborate and co-adapt with AI, so that these after the human could better understand and critique the AI, it will better help them to provide a better preference. So this should be a complete loop between human and AI's relationship. And any questions here? Or you might be disagree about it. Things this is also developing, so we are also open to any critique and thoughts here.
I mean, how can you align human behalf? Like, you cannot control how users interact with, like, for example, you cannot tell someone how to use their ChatGPT.
Yes, that's a very good question. Actually, we got a lot of discussion on this aligning humans with AI. So here, what we mean by is not aligning humans' outcome with AI, since AI sometimes is not also outperforming humans' capability. Here, we want to more focus on aligning humans' understanding, and there maybe in the future AI is outperforming on AI, so that a human could better leverage AI to improve themselves and augment their own intelligence in some way. So that aligning humans with AI more broadly means that we want humans to better understand AI, basically aligning humans' cognitive understanding with AI's outcome and mechanism. And also, when AI in the future might be outperforming AI in some cases, we also want to aligning humans maybe capability to better leverage AI and to achieve a better co-performance together as a team. So this is more accurately what we mean by aligning humans with AI. It's not just AI, whatever AI is generating, we just align AI to the align humans to there. So really great question, and we want to clarify what aligning humans with AI mean here. Great. More question? Awesome. So let's continue. And here's a more written and formal definition we proposed in this paper. So that we say bidirectional human AI alignment is a comprehensive framework that encompasses two interconnected alignment process so that we shouldn't divide them, which includes, first of all, align AI with human, which focuses on integrating human specifications to train, steer, and customize AI. On the other hand, we want to align humans with AI, which means supporting humans in understanding, critiquing, collaborating with, and adapting to AI advancements. So here you can also check the details in our paper as well. And the main objective of the human AI alignment here, we want to emphasize is that we want to not only maximizing the capability between the human AI's team, but also minimizing the risks in the human AI co-evolution, so that we should consider human AI's relationship and alignment as a dual optimization process instead of just focusing on one side. And so with that said, here are some scope, or actually the scopes of human AI alignment are beyond, which is very broad concepts here. We would include some topics related to capturing the human's value and feedback, or moral topics for the LLMs and AI agents. We also include developing LLM agents to integrate human values and feedback using some algorithms, for example, supervised fine-tuning, RLHF, DPO, etc. The third one is interpret models to humans for human AI collaboration, so that making them cognitively aligned with human and AI. And the final part, we also include the social impacts of LLM agents for trustworthiness and the safety. And more, you can also add if you're interested. So we talked a lot about humans here. What we also want to emphasize is who are the humans in these concepts. And here we want to list some of the typical stakeholders, but actually the humans here, we want to be very broad. It includes any users who interact with AI, like us. We typically use ChatGPT, Gemini, or the cloud, etc. And it also included the crowdsourcing annotators, who would be the data annotator for training those AI models. And we would also include domain experts, including some of the doctors or the teachers or some of the experts in the specific domain, and AI developers and practitioners, which is of course maybe in the future some of us, and the policymakers who would make the regulations for AI in the future, and also communities like the university community or some of the chemistry community, etc., broad communities and beyond. Even some people who never used AI, but they might also be influenced by AI. For example, some negative news is that maybe some of the subjects are disappearing because of AI is replacing their roles. Some workers are replacing their roles, like some creativity, like a painter, etc. Because AI is like doing some of the work more faster and even better. So these are all the humans we want to emphasize here. And now we not only propose these concepts, we are also actively doing a lot of work on advancing these human AI alignment so that we would welcome everyone to like contribute your thoughts here. Here, some efforts we have already done. We have already published the paper as a systematic survey where you can access to from the archive. And we also organized 2 workshops on the iClear 2025 and the Kai 2025, which is a top conference in machine learning and HCI, so that we want our concepts to be accepted by both community. And we have a broad amazing collaborators in these efforts. And in the upcoming months, that's why I say it might be like some of our future courses might be on Zoom, because I need to also attend this conference, where in September we would have a tutorial on human AI alignment, which is also first of this kind, where I and another 2 researchers from MIT and OpenAI would give this tutorial. And we have also very fortunately invited some of the amazing, like really amazing researchers who would be our panelists, where we want to know more about their insights about this human AI alignment. And by now, we have known a lot about what is human AI alignment. Any questions, feedback? Awesome. So now let's briefly talk about what if there's no human AI alignment. And we are all familiar with ChatGPT, since like it has been everywhere. And here's the very beginning of the paper of the ChatGPT back in 2022, where they actually described what's the process of developing this AI model. At that time, it's named Instruct GPT, but actually the underneath mechanisms are kind of similar, where you can see that they included 3 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, where in the end, they have some reward models and some RLHF like process that could incorporate human feedback to post-training the AI models, where the human feedback is primarily appeared here. You can see human would give like LM just generating some, like prompting some of the model and giving 2 pairs, like a pair of the responses. And human would like rating and ranking all the responses, where their rating and ranking would be used as a reward model into feeding the reward model and then training the following process of the LM. So here, the human's feedback is primarily rating and ranking. On the other side, we also want to share with you some of the state-of-the-art research on AI and broadly alignment. Here's one example from Anthropic, where it's named the constitutional AI. They also want to involve human feedback here. How did they involve? So they actually developed a list of rules, which we named it as principles. For example, helpfulness and harmlessness, and also like honesty. So basically they named the principles as a 3H. And then they use these 3H principles to develop this model. And here's another way of incorporating the human's preference of training AI. On the other hand, here's another work from Google DeepMind, where they wanna maybe save the like time and the cost from human feedback, because human feedback is usually like taking longer time and more expensive. So what they did is actually red teaming large language model with large language model. They automatically find harmful cases by generating test cases using another LM. So basically they simulate the humans using another LM and then do this red teaming with the simulated human LM. So here you can see that these are published also like back in 2022 and 2023. Here's some typical work where when they want to address these AI safety and AI related research, how they incorporate the human in the loop. But responsible AI work commonly involves minimum human participation, as we have observed. And we are actually missing diverse human participation here. And here's one latest talk I just participated in August in UC Berkeley, where the professors there actually shared his insights about the most successful AI apps are usually have human in the loop. So he's also emphasizing the importance of involving human in the AI model or LM development, where you can see that we actually need real human with real world prompts at real time. But currently this is still very hard to achieve, but maybe some of us in the future would achieve this, which is also one of the goal of our research in this class. And you can see specifically in his talk, which I really appreciate, is that he mentioned what drives the human preference is not only about the substance, which is the quality and accuracy of human labels. As we just mentioned, like the ChatGPT, human just provide rating and ranking or some of the principles which primarily focus on the stance, like having high quality of the human feedback. But also the style of the human feedback is also important. Like style means that what's the format of human feedback? Like rating and ranking is one format. Principles is one format of like principle. And actually humans preference as we like daily in our daily life, we provide feedback for other friends or for AI in very diverse formats, such as like maybe we might sketch some of the things to describe what we are thinking. We might plot some of the figures to showing what we are thinking. So humans' thoughts and feedback could be very multi-modality and very diverse, which could hardly be incorporated in nowadays AI's training day. So that you can see the AI's preference, the representation of AI's like thoughts, preference, and values are largely underexplored to be fully captured by today's AI model. And so I also included the video here, so you can like check the video where there's a list of amazing speakers and the researchers here, which I really appreciate. And what issues would emerge when humans do not participate in the AI's life cycle? So you can see that without humans in the loop of AI development and deployment, here again, we see this AI life cycle process from the development of collecting data, training AI, and to the AI deployment, from the evaluating AI to deployment AI. We can see the data simplifies the representation of human demographics. So that nowadays, many of the human data, although they are like keep advancing and improving, but they are still very limited to the specific annotator on the specific demographic areas. And also, the training actually simplifies the integration of pluralistic human values here, and also the very diverse of humans' thoughts and representation with only limited styles like rating and ranking. For evaluation, the current evaluation without human in the loop simplifies what humans expect from AI system. So if you are familiar, nowadays we have a lot of AI leaderboard and AI benchmark, which is like typically defining some of the numeric metrics or the scores using some like benchmark data set, which can hardly capture the real world and real-time human preference here. And finally, the deployment of AI actually would simplify how humans use AI in collaboration. Current of the study and research on human AI collaborations are mostly in the lab situation. And actually human and AI in the future could be like collaborated in diverse situation. So here are a lot of issues across the AI life cycle. So we can see that without human loop, there are a lot of issues here. So we should involve humans throughout the AI life cycle. And this is not just proposed by us. Here's another like quote from Demis, who is a CEO and co-founder of Google DeepMind, also the 2024 Nobel Prize winner. He said that AI should be developed with a human-centered approach, taking into account issues such as privacy, transparency, and accountability, and also responsible deployment of AI is also essential for a better future. So more and more researchers and experts have noticed the importance of involving human in the loop. But how? How can we do that? We claim that empowering humans to interactively collaborate and develop responsive AI across the life cycle is very important, which is also the underneath techniques and the methodology in our human AI alignment courses and research. And this BioAlign course is also our human AI alignment course. I use it as abbreviation of BioAlign course. Equips you with fundamental knowledge, technical skills, and practical project experience to advance human AI alignment in the future research. So here's the goal in my mind where I wanna, after you taking this class, I want you to gain this kind of like experience and the key points, including the fundamental knowledge and technical skills, and also practical project experience after you're taking this class. And let's see, the third one, which you might be very interested in know more about the details here, is the course overview and the logistics. Until here, any questions?
Can you give us an example on how some big companies how they want we as human to align with AI, just like the B.
Align humans to AI,
Yeah.
right? So that's a very, very good question. I think currently the open companies are like, honestly, I think they are also developing and enlarging their teams for these aligning human to AI. As for example, some of the companies like leaders, they reach out to me and then also initiating like the human-centered like a team for in leading company like OpenAI and Anthropic as well. I think currently this is largely underexplored, but already some initial efforts. And what they want from like aligning humans to AI, as I understand, is that they want to, first of all, making their products, like for example, ChatGPT, Cloud AI, to be more fit into users' case so that the products can better support what humans and their users need, not only for individuals, but also for a broader community. I think that is the first one about like beneficial for the users in their case. And the third one is that I think some of the team are also one aligning humans to AI. As for example, I will give you a very concrete one is if you see the Anthropic's website, they have not only a team about like AI interpretability, they also have a team named AI alignment, which focus more on ensuring AI to be safe and responsible for the like the society. And they also have the third team named the societal impacts of AI. I think which is very relevant to align human with AI, where you can also see their topics, their like official website in the cloud, in the Anthropic. So in that specific team about societal impacts of AI, they did a lot of amazing work by analyzing the real world data from cloud and see, for example, how users are actually using the cloud. So as I remember, one of their paper actually lists the typical use cases of human who are leveraging AI, including using them for coding, where we might be familiar. Also, they observed that users use the cloud a lot for like analyzing some of the creating some of the new creativity products and the tasks, and also including some of like the consulting, basically Q&A, and even some of them are using like a Wikipedia, like a search-based one. So that aligning humans with AI, I think from the big companies is of course beyond this, but they are also interested in knowing how humans is interacting, perceiving, and leveraging their product like these large language models, so that I believe these could better help them to develop the LM better fit into the human's needs. So you can see naturally this is a complete loop about having the LM first, knowing more about the users like concepts, understanding and leverage, and then feedback into their AI improvement. Great question. Any more? Awesome. So the third part is about our course overview. So Noah would have more details in our later classes, so that this is just giving you a broad overview about what topics we would include. So for the overview, here's about the key concepts in our lectures where I would prepare for you on these topics. The first, we divided our course into 3 stages: the fundamental stages, foundation stages, like method stages, and practice stages. And you can see from our website with different purple color, meaning that it's gradually you're gaining more and more experience here. The first part is about foundations, where I want to share with you about, of course, first of all, what's a history about AI alignment, what's the current challenges about human AI alignment in general, and what's the human's role here, here and in the future. The second part, which is very important, is about values and morals in LM, where our students also shared the amazing insights here. We want to share with you about, this is also the very hot topic, like important state-of-art topics. We are currently actively, like many researchers are actively working on these. We want to share with you about the basic theories related to human values, borrowing from very traditional psychology or social science domains or philosophy domains, where they have a lot of experience or expertise on moral and value theories. We also want to know how could we evaluate LM on these theories and on these values. And we also want to know that if the values of LM is not aligned with human, how could we mitigate this misalignment, and also what's their social impacts. So this is another foundations we want to share with you in this first section about foundations from week 1 and 2. After learning the foundations, I also want to share with you about the methods, which focus you can see primarily on different stages of AI life cycle. We include not only data part, but also training part and also the evaluation part. And some of them are involving some ecosystems nowadays in the community. The data part and all of this AI life cycle, as we just described, we would focus more on human the loop about empowering them and aligning them, instead of traditional machine learning, where you might already have some classes on purely algorithm-based or purely machine learning-based one. So this is a little bit different in our class, comparing with the traditional other classes here. So in the data part, we would share some of the latest work about human AI co-annotating the data, and also some human loop annotating to ensure different quality. And maybe you want to develop your own way about different styles of human annotations, which I believe is a very promising future research as well. And for the post-training part, we are very interested in these are very typical method about alignment, including basically prompting and then supervised fine-tuning and RLHF or DPO with alignment power more and increasingly strong. And we also include some interactive alignment so that you can see how human and LM could achieve in the real time. And this is some topics related to post-training for alignment. And the third one is about evaluation and ecosystem, where we would share with you some of the typical automatic metrics and also how human could be involved in the loop to achieve these evaluation on alignment and broadly LMs. So these are about the methodology. You can see focus more on the AI life cycle part. And the third one is about the practice from the week of 10 to 15th, where you can see we now touch more about the HCI side and the social computing side. And we would cover different topics, including, first of all, human AI interaction, where we would learn different types, like how to design, how to develop and evaluate human AI alignment and their collaboration, and share with you some of the typical use cases currently very state of art, such as coding or such as assistant writing and beyond. The second one is about LM interpretability. So LM interpretability will cover not only mechanistic interpretability, but also human-centered explanation for understanding what's the mechanism and behind the neural network about the LM. And the third one is about risks, trust, safety, and maybe beyond about the social impacts, where we want to know, given this LM, how they are impacting the overall society, what's the key challenges and risks of the LM, and how we can do on top of it. And especially we want to cover some human-centered way as well. So these are about the third section of our lectures. And until here, we should be achieving the end of our semester. So courses, lectures, any questions here? Great. And in my mind, I designed 4 goals for our class. The first one is gain fundamental knowledge on human AI alignment, where we just shared the 15 weeks of the lectures I would share with you, and I would guide you into the detailed topics and the detailed latest research in this area. And the second goal in my mind is I want you to familiarize the cutting edge research in this specific domain. So for achieving these, I have shared with you a list of different state-of-art research papers, so you can select and get familiar by yourself. And the third part is about harness the hands-on technical skills. I think the technical skills is one of the main reason of the gaps. If you still remember, there's a big gap between the two communities, because from my own experience, I was traditionally an AI researcher, which is like where I have gained a lot of experience on training model, evaluating model, and developing the data. But actually, when I want to do more human-centered researches, like in the latter stages of my PhD, I realized that I couldn't develop an interactive system. It's a very high bar, and it's completely different two types of codes. Like the traditional LM-related codes is more about PyTorch, and then you use train models on the GPU, it's Python-based codes. And when you want to develop the human AI interactive system, it's another set of codes, including HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. So these two codes are actually sharing very different formats and languages. You might need a lot of time to gain both of the both of the codes here. So that's why I think the technical skills is one of the main reasons why the two communities are currently separated to some extent. But there are more and more researchers nowadays, especially in the latest years of 2023 until 2025, who have gained both technical skills who can address this type of human AI alignment research. So I hope in this class, I would share with you some easy to go starting points on gaining both technical skills, so that in the future, if you want to go more towards AI, you can use dive deeper into AI related coding technical skills. If you want to get more towards the HCI, you can dive deeper in the HCI related technical skills depending on your own interest. But at this class, I want you to at least have the access and the basic knowledge about what the both community, the technical skills would involve and how you can expect from this. And the fourth one is about a practical projects, and we would only involve one final project where you can decide what topic, what either is AI oriented or is HCI oriented, depends on your own interest to see what you want to present to our class. So this is the goals here. And here's how I'm mapping the goals to our class activity. For gaining the foundational knowledge, I would give you around 13-ish, I forgot, like the specific lectures by me, so that I would prepare for all the lectures to go through with you all the details and the specific knowledge in this area. The second one is about familiarize cutting edge research, where this would led by you. And I have already shared with you a list of different related work where you can see in our website. And you can choose one, you just need to choose one of the topic and present the paper. It can be one paper to going in depth, or it can be a group of paper. You give us an overview of the specific topic so that you would have a group to present this paper for a specific one topic. And this is to help you familiarize the cutting edge research. The third one is about harness the hands-on skills, where I designed 2 assignments here. The first one is more about AI focus, like I just shared. It will involve more about PyTorch based and the training LM model, or supervised fine-tuning, or even DPO if you want. And the second assignment is more about HCI focused. I want to make it very technical compared. HCI is actually very broad. It can involve like non-technical at all, just human interview, doing some survey, etc. But in this class, I want you to gain some technical skills in HCI, where I might design like would love to see you design an interactive system so that you can having your own website for this human LM interaction. And finally, we'll have one final project. We also share with you some of the scope. And you can check the details here in our website, where I want to share with you about the key timelines. So you can see I highlighted the key milestones, or actually timelines here using these yellow tags, which indicate, first of all, we need the project proposed start. I would create it in our Brightspace. And then you need to submit your project proposal due on September 12th, the 4th week. And then after you submit your project, you would see the assignment 1 released, which is focusing on LM post-training alignment, which starting in the second course about the 4th week. And then we'll give you a lot of weeks for you to finish it, so that you need to submit your assignment in the week of 9. And after that, we would have your midway project showcase, so that you and your group members could share with us. Like we use one class to share about what's the current project and progress you have been on at the week of 10, and what you might need from me to help you achieve this. So this is more soft, and you can have a lot of Q&A here. And the 10th part is in the 10th week. I'm sorry. In the week of 10, we would release our assignment 2, which is more on the HCI side, so that we want you to develop a human LM interactive alignment system by empowering humans to maybe designing some prompts, optimize some prompts, or even you want to do some supervised fine-tuning in the backend of the system. So that we would love to see that. This system usually includes 1 part, or maybe sometimes 2 parts, or sometimes 3 parts, a front-end UI. So it's primarily using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and the backend, which is primarily Python-based. And for example, you would get familiar with Flask, so that it can communicate with the front-end. And some of the projects also include the database as a third one. The database can be integrated in the backend, or a third one, like a third part, so that this is a typical architecture of this interactive system. So you now have a roughly concepts about that. And at the week of 14, you would need to submit your assignment too. And very soon you would need to represent your final project's presentation. You can finish these earlier so that you can have longer time to prepare for your final projects. But I tried to design the time more sufficient for you, and you can balance your time throughout the semester. So here is like the timeline, what you can expect here. And for the course activities and the percentage of our grading, the paper presentation would be 20%. And earlier presentation, you would get a higher score because the first one is like the week of like the week very soon. So that the first presentation I would be very lenient to the first one and appreciate you for register it like earlier. And for our project, which is the primary part of our class, which would consist of 50%, including the proposal, the midway report, and presentation. So you need to submit both a document for that, and also the in-class presentation. And the final submission also included the report and the presentation. So you can see the percentage here, and assignment, each of them would represent like 10%, and the participation like 10% as well. So that question contributions, which means we have a very active Q&A, I would give you some plus. So maybe in the future, like maybe in the final grade, you can see some like over 100 score if you are performing, some of you are performing pretty well. So these are the percentage of our activities. Any questions here? Any like comments here? You want me to change some of the parts? You can feel free to email me for your expectation. And some of the clarification on several course activities I want to share with you, which is like going deeper into this part. They are still the same. The paper presentation, here's a sign up link. You can see it in the slides. So you might need to log in the slides to find this here. And then you can team with other students, 1 or 2 students per group for this presentation. And for the papers, you can select at least 1 paper from the reading materials. So it depends on, like, you can also see here are the reading material. I might also update like actively, not that actively. This is the first pass of I have just drafted, but there are, like more great papers, and even you can add your own paper if you found some amazing one from the top conferences or latest archive, so that these are not we are not limited to the specific list. You can add your own one. And here are, the way you can either, here's a sign up link I would share with you. You just need to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only have 6 groups here. You can add your papers like here, like which paper you want to present, and then note who are your group members and your teammates here. So just like very easy. And the reading list, I have already listed some of here, and the way you can do either one is just showing 1 paper, going very in-depth about the whole process, so that you want to know the goal here. If you want to go 1 to 2 papers, is that you want to know a complete research process. And if in the future you want to write your own paper, what a typical paper would consist of. This is a good way first. The second great way is that you want to know specifically what's the overview of the specific topic, so that you can collect a bunch of different papers and share with our classmates about, okay, see here's some of the key overview of the specific topic, some of the latest technique, so that it's more like a survey of these. So 2 options are both welcome, depending on how you would like to design the paper presentation. And yes, it would be great. You can fill in this paper title and names by the day of, did I say something here? Like in the end, we can see like by the day of like 2 weeks later. And yes, earlier presentation days potentially receive higher scores, so register first. The first one might be disappeared very soon by some of you. And clarification on several, the second one is about course assignments. As we also shared, we want to have the first assignment focus more on the AI part. Currently, I'm thinking about we would use some of the state-of-art AI value-related data like a word-wide survey or some Schwartz-based value data, and then empower you to align these LM from the raw LM model with the more human value aligned model. So this is like currently my thoughts about the assignment 1, where I'm actually developing this assignment as well. The format would be, I would give you a notebook like from the Google Colab or way, so that you can go from step by step. And in the Google Colab note, Jupyter note, and you could also have some flexibility on adding your own talents and your own thoughts here, so that you would not like go it from scratch. The second part is about assignment 2, where we would develop an interactive system. You would just using your own Google, like the computer, and we would primarily use the React.js. So if you're interested, you can get like familiar with that even before the assignment 2, if you are very interested in designing interactive system. So these are the second one about the assignments. Any questions here? Good, awesome. For the final projects, we would also allow like team-based project submission as well. So we can find another friend as your team, and you can like the scores should be the same. Other like except for there's a significant different workload share, saying one of you just like finished the 90% of the projects, the other of you like finish 10%. So with that said, it means in your report of your final projects, you need to say the team contribution for each of you, like who did what, so that we can have a better assessment. But hopefully we would give you like both the equally score if you are forming a team. And some of the scope as we currently thinking about, and the final projects would depend on you. So you can decide your project. If you need any of my help about maybe guiding you some of the state-of-art research, happy to tell. Like come to my office hour, and then we can discuss together about some promising research. Hopefully, if you're interested, we can develop some research papers in the end of this class. Some of the optional topics to see whether you're interested. The first one, the upper one is more about AI oriented. The latter one is more about HCI oriented. Like, for example, maybe you're interested in developing novel human LM co-annotated data set or benchmarks for improving LM. Or maybe you want to develop some AI, like human agent interaction workflows or systems or algorithms, etc., to improve the LM or AI agent. And or you want to develop some novel evaluation or scalable oversight for the alignment one. And then even using some interactive systems so that it's better deployed to the end users. Or you want to do human-centered interpretability on the LM or agentic AI, or mechanistically like interpretability. If you want to do where also like embrace or welcome like machine learning focused interpretability work here. Or you want to investigate what's the social impacts of the LM, what we can do and what we can improve the like positive social impacts for LM and broadly AI agents. These are like optional topics you might be interested. Feel free to develop your own topics beyond these like main research directions. And yes, until here, any questions? Good. Cool. So we have covered the main topics about our class. And here are some course policies where like we also need to cover this in the first class. First of all, please get familiar with our NYU Shanghai statement on the academic integrity, especially it's in the undergrad's bulletin, so that you might also know this in other classes. I don't want to emphasize here, but I hope you are all like allowing for the integrity in our research, not only in this class, but also in the research in the future. And the second one, some generative AI policies. Since we are human AI alignment class, so we allow generative AI. So in my mind, I think if you can leverage or collaborate with AI to achieve a very great results or outcomes, it's also a good capability you want to development. And especially as we just reviewed, all our assignments, paper presentation, and final projects, it's not just exams. So that even though you use generative AI, it still need a lot of your own thoughts and your own ideas to finish our classes. So you could use generative AI. Please do it ethically in this class, and then do not plagiarize, although do not plagiarize all the things, or do not copy paste directly, add some of your thoughts here. And then generative AI can be used to support your research and coding. Like, for example, I would encourage you, if you are learning, saying like front-end coding from scratch, you can ask ChatGPT how we could start, or ask Cloud how I could initiate some projects. Actually, collaborating with AI might help you. So you're allowed to do these. But the goal here, is to gain your own skills from this class. And the creativity and novel ideas should be your own. Saying if you want to develop the final projects, do not just directly ask ChatGPT, what's the latest, the hottest research topic in 2025? Mostly they are not experts in this specific question, but embracing your own thoughts on doing some literature review, searching for some state-of-the-art top conferences, and then, for example, one example I can think of, like for your reference, is that you can collect the latest 2025 top conferences, like publish the papers and throw to ChatGPT. Oh, what do you think the main themes about these published state-of-the-art research? And you can pick one of the themes you are most interested, and diving deeper into reading these papers, and then interacting with ChatGPT. What's your collaborative thoughts about some novel ideas of the research? So that do not just directly Q&A with ChatGPT about research. And some late policy, each student could have one free late submission, so that if you have to submit late for some reasons, you have one time or one chance. If you have to submit multiple times due to some, unavoidable reasons, reach out to me, and then we can discuss for that. But hopefully, I think the workload might not be that big, so that hopefully we all submit in the timely date. And final projects papers could not be tuned, because I need to grade our final. And you also don't want your final grades to be delayed or disappear in some way, so that we don't allow final submission being late. And you can always let me know if you're having any questions or need my support. My office is just upstairs in the 7th floor, and we will have regularly office hour and the course each week. And here are some generative AI tools and the services in our NYU Shanghai. I don't know if you have covered. This is I borrowed the table. I had a tutorial weeks ago from our IT, NYU Shanghai IT, and they shared this table with me. So I collected the key information here for you. And for, I believe, not only faculty, but also students, we have some access to some of the helpful resources. The first one is commercial model, including the OpenAI and the cloud. So you can see here. And then the institutional license, I know that we are collaborating with Google Gemini, but from my understanding, you might want to not only try Google Gemini, but also some other models, since different expertise in different tasks. But we do have the collaboration on Gemini, where you can use your Night ID to leverage this. And if you want to do speech related research, Notebook LM, and Google have a good LM there, so you can access as well. They just released a new Nano Banana, the model for the speech one, so that you can also for video one, so that you can also check. private by request. If you want to do some other like open chat, like OpenAI chat, you might need to, or if your proposal need a substance like computing resource, you can reach out to me, or you can ask our IT to see whether we can access to the server as well. I think we can access to our own Shanghai's server for GPU access. So here's the resources you can access. Any questions here? Awesome. Great. We only have 10 minutes, but let's do our most exciting part. I'd love to know more about you. So it would be great. We can share by line, or like if you want to volunteer to share more about what's your experience, what's your major, why do you want to attend this class, and what you want to get from this class. And I would incorporate your feedback or your thoughts into improving our class in the following weeks. So that is also one of the goal of why we have this section. And let's start. Just 1, 2, 3, or 5 sentences would be good enough. Maybe starting. Go ahead.
I'm Yichen Jiang. I'm Jason.
You can stand and yeah.
I'm Yichen Jiang Jason. I'm a senior student. I'm a member of QE development team that is serving introduction to computer programming class. So that software is like a teacher-student interaction system. So that we are also, I also want to learn more on how to collect data and how to like attract them to use the system, not to impose them to use the system.
Very
So
good.
like we just assign them a bonus point to use.
And
It's not good, so.
yeah, you want them to volunteer to do that. Cool. Go this way.
Okay. My name is Jingluo, and you can call me Jen. I'm a senior student, and my research field is mainly in the rationale in the diffusion models. And to take this course, I am expecting to learn something about how to, for example, align the diffusion model with, for example, human preference or something. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Model part. You can also just stand and face with everyone.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Chen. You can also call me Julia. And my first research is also about HCI. And I'm doing something like human in the loop, like how can human to improve the image generation process, also with CC. And
Nice.
then I'm moving my research topic into more about robotics.
Mhm.
And during my study every year, I'm doing something like how to let robot to directly learn from the human data instead of the robot data. So so for now, my interest will be more about how to let human more involved in the robot's training process instead of purely relying on the robot side. And my expectation with this course will be like, I really want to know how to let the human to integrate with the AI, and how to let AI to generate it like more human preference related output. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Sissy. I'm also a senior. So basically, I'm a senior majoring in computer science. And my two research experience. The first one is basically for aligning diffusion model with user preferences. So it's basically I did it with Julia here, and also the second one is on machine learning. So it's basically alignment for NLP LLM. And right now, my research focus is basically on video world models. So it's more like computer vision stuff. So I really wanted to like learn how to align human preferences for like the visual world. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a novel style of the human preference, which might be some promising, research. Maybe we can go this one.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and I'm experiencing like system security research. And so that's also like one of the reasons why I'm in this class is because I was working in an HCI lab this summer, and my expectations for this course, I'm very excited to read like papers and learn about this topic, and I think it's a very broad scope because I'm like more interested in security, which is very specific.
Cool.
Hi, my name is Jerry and I'm a senior. I'm majoring in computer science and I don't have much research experience. And my expectation of this course, I'm quite interested in how we can align the human and get AI and how it works with my expectation.
Cool.
Hi everyone, my name is Hongwen. I'm a senior. I usually study over at NYU in New York, where I do computer science and data science. And I took a class there about responsible AI and those systems. So really for this course, I'm looking to learn more about the human-computer interaction part and how we can, like you said, like adjust humans to best use AI systems and understand how to use.
Cool. We can probably.
So hi, my name is Charlotte, and I'm a senior student as well, and I'm majoring in American media and business. And my students are more in either media, business, VR stuff. My expectation for this course is to learn more about like human computer interaction.
Cool.
Hello, everyone. I'm not from here. I'm from London. Study awakening. We don't have really such a class, but there, right? So to take something like everybody has the reinforcement learning, like math heavy classes. Not being in one of these classes, dominated the field, but it's whatever. The main idea for this class is like it was something different and something more interesting according to the syllabus that I found. So that's why I'm here personally. I don't know. And also I should go 3 lectures, so we can go based on something. But that's generally it. My experience involved not that much. I'm a professional kernel development and not much of AI, but I scaled 2 AI startups. But majorly I was like nitpicking other people's work and not really creating my own stuff. So pretty much not human interaction with other humans, interact with AI. Okay? That's it.
Cool. And maybe you can share more about how industrial perspective of you see the users for AI. Like that's
Well, I'm gonna do that, and there's no time for other people to.
I mean later, not now. Yeah. Great.
Stephanie, I'm a junior studying way from Swanton College. I'm a neuroscience major and computer science minor. My experience with AI is pretty negligible, so I guess I'm just interested in learning more.
Great.
Hi, I'm Belinda. I'm also a studying way student at NYU New York. I'm majoring in computer science with a minor in game design, and I don't really have a lot of experience with AI, but when I saw this course, I thought it was really interesting, especially with how AI is very prominent in our everyday lives. So I thought it was really important to learn about how humans interact.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. Maybe we can also quickly go here.
My name is Zhang Yingchen. I'm a senior major in formal math and data science. I have some previous experience in AI for both training, both for language model and education models. So I have some experience for AI and human part, and I also did this class. I just think blending human interaction is promising, but which I previously presented. Maybe I can explore more in this.
Cool. Great.
I'm Kevin. I previously did some work in language model safety, causality, and also reasoning, which is also part of the post-training scope. I know alignment is also an important part of post-training, but I have that experience with that, so I was trying to practice more about alignment, which is an important scope of post-training.
I'm Daniel. I'm senior major in mathematics. Because I haven't heard about human AI alignment before, so I'm quite interested in it. I didn't enroll in this course. I just come to audit courses for the course.
Yes. Great. So we are actually also the first of the kinds of these human AI alignment among the community. So that's why great insight. And let's.
Everyone, my name is Chloe. I'm a junior major in
I don't have much research experience on, but I just started some research in robotics, and I think and human AI has something very important thing to teach us about the necessity of motions of podcasts. So maybe you can explain.
Great.
Me, I'm also a senior between I really don't have much experience or expectations for this course. I'm just scared. Yeah.
Great. And thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm a junior majoring in computer science, and I don't have any experience in like research papers stuff like that, but I tried like building some small projects using like Python, scikit-learn, and TensorFlow. And I know AI is like taking over, so I thought like this course seems
It's-
good.
Cool.
Hello, my name is Bruno. I'm also a senior, studying CS with a minor in business. And I just want to better understand and I guess know how to guide AI systems better and also how to like test or train AI with human feedback.
I'm Charlie, and I'm a senior majoring in computer science, and I just want to help you learn more about AI.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Nick, and I'm also a senior studying computer science, and I also don't have much research experience. My expertise is more like music technology based. So, I picked this course because it sounds interesting, and also, it doesn't have any exams. Exams, so I want to see how it
True.
works out.
Yeah, that's why we allow generative AI because we don't have exam. It's really great to see we have really diverse background, also geolocations gathering here together. And you don't need to worry a lot about if you don't have AI backgrounds. We care more when I grade our assignments and projects, we care more about the improvement you have gained instead of the relative or absolute like progress. So that I hope all of you could learn something from this. And when you like finish this class, you at least have some practical experience on this topic. And great. I think share your insights, etc. If you have any feedback, I have like 2 open questions here in this survey. You can always access and give me some of the details of your thoughts or some of your feedback or any feedback you want me to know. And it is very valuable from like my perspective. Also want to learn more from you. And here's our assignment 0, but actually we don't grade this. We just need to emphasize by naming it as assignment so that you focus on that. So it's due on, okay, here we have the due, September 7th, should be next week. So that you have the sign up link, you have the reading materials. You don't need to go deeper into all the papers since we have a lot. You just need to scan it to see whether you are interested, and then like pick the one that you are most interested here. And then you need to fill in this sign up survey by the next Sunday. So that's it. Okay, sounds great. Thank you. Thank all of you.
Wait, so let's say I wanna present on September 15th. Does it have to be about values and morals or?
It can,
Say if I wanna present about evaluation ecosystem, I still present on September 15th.
then you wanna sign up on that specific week.
Oh, so the date hasn't come with the topics.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I would love to share about the philosophy of why I designed here. So it's more like I would share with you the basic knowledge about values first. And then our class like mates know the knowledge, and then followed by some of the paper presentations so that everyone knows that what's the state of the art of this specific knowledge.
So if I want to present earlier, I have to pick earlier topics.
Yes, exactly. So you have to pick the earlier topic. If you want to say, for example, you want to like represent about the evaluation, then you just see here. So the goal of paper presentation, again, is that after the lecture, I would love to share with you of the fundamental knowledge. So you know what's the academic or research knowledge for the topic, and then followed by the specific paper presentation on this topic, so that you know what's the state of the art of the research in this area. So that's the combination and the design of this class. Sounds good?
For the presentations, can there be multiple groups for one day? Or just the group member, one or two people that are signed up? Because there's
I designed this since I just saw around 14 in the bright space, but we can sign up for multiple teams. And saying if we have 3 teams for one topic, we just need to share the workload, so that share the time so that each team could do a shorter presentation. Yeah, so that you can sign up. Sounds good? Great. Love to see you on Wednesday. Thank you again. Hello. Yeah, let me stop sharing, stop recording. Stop recording.